Hi, my name is Elsie, and I'm here today with...
Odeal.
Thank you for having me. This was chaotic, trying to set it up.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
But we got it. So you're telling me that this was your first tour.
Yeah, first tour.
What's that been like?
It's been interesting, it's been fun, moving around with my team, and I feel like, just being away from home makes you appreciate your team even more, do you know what I mean? And linking up with the LVRN team as well. Like we're family now, so it's like everyone's been out here and we've just had some bonding time out here on tour, So it's been cool.
Had maybe a favorite city so far?
Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah,
Really?
Toronto,
I missed that one, damn.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think one thing when I was reading up on you, I read that, correct me if I'm wrong, born in Germany, spent time in Nigeria, Spain, UK.
Yeah.
That's like multicultural. You feel like that influenced like your music?
Yeah, 100%.
In what way?
Because I feel like it allowed me to be able to communicate with different types of people better, you know what I mean? So obviously music is all about communication, how you communicate with melody, beat choice, like, do you know what I mean? Lyrics, like the way, your tonality and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I feel like living in all these different places allowed me to be free in the way I express myself in my music, knowing that there's someone somewhere that's gonna understand it. Like I don't do it and think, are these people gonna like it? I do it and I know that someone somewhere
will get it.
is gonna get it because it's coming from somewhere or a mix of places, so yeah.
I love your EP, Sunday Azuris.
Thank you.
I think it's one of the best. It's compact, but I think it's one of the best projects to drop all year.
I appreciate that.
Why do you go with that name?
Sunday
what's
Azuris.
Happening? It feels like a Sunday, by the way.
This project feels like a Sunday, right?
It does.
So Sunday at Zuri's was named after like the time that I spent in Nigeria. So if you're in Lagos, you'll know that on a Sunday, like people go to the beach. Like on a Sunday, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I grew up in Lagos.
There we go. So people like Sunday at Lashe.
Yeah.
Or like, do you know what I mean? Like there's loads of places where you can go, like beaches that you go on Sundays to chill, and then the week starts again. And I feel like that experience that I had out there, with a bunch of people and a certain person was like, yo, like I know what this feeling is. I need to boil it up into a project and put it out there. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you succeeded in that.
Thank you.
Sauce has had a huge moment in social media.
Yes, it did, yeah.
Did you anticipate that?
No, I kind of knew that it was gonna do well, but I didn't know it was gonna do this well. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't even know what well is, and then it happens, like, wow. So yeah, I'm grateful.
But how have you been handling that? I mean, a lot more people have discovered you because of that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm grateful, and it's just a time to just release more music. I feel like now that I got their ears and their attention, it's time for them to really get to know me. Like I feel like people who've been listening to me before this, they understand me. But that song as an introduction to me is nice, but it's an introduction anyway. So it's like, let's just keep, let's keep going.
There's more to see.
There's more to see.
Yeah, Thoughts I Never Said, I feel like if you compare that to Sunday Azuris, it's a lot more R&B.
Yeah.
And then you just switch over to Afro beats.
Yeah.
What made you think it was time to make that switch right away? Because I know that's not gonna be everything.
No, but I do that quite a lot. Like, my music is quite like seasonal. So in the summer, I've got vibes for the summer. It might be Afro beats, it might be something else. It might be Afro house, it might be whatever. And then in the winter, it goes back to R&B because it feels like that's what that needs. Like you're not gonna want to be in the clubs like going crazy like during the winter. You know what I mean? You're living your movie.
Kind of hibernating.
Exactly, you're hibernating. You're living your movie, so you need a soundtrack to that.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. And in the summer, I feel like I like to experiment and give people something to be happy about, to move, to dance, and that's that.
I feel like you get it with the range, but I feel like some people wouldn't get it.
What do you mean?
Like, because you have so much range.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people might be like, why doesn't he just stick to one thing? Have you ever felt that pressure?
Nah,
like...
do you know what's so crazy? So originally what happened was when I started off making music, A&Rs used to tell me, yeah, like, you don't know what sound you're going for. It sounds like you're kind of confused and because I could just do like loads of different things. but that wasn't the case. I just really liked and understood different types of music, and I knew when, like, I felt something, I knew how to express it. Like, if I felt like a certain way, I wouldn't know how to, not that I wouldn't know how to, but it's best expressed for a certain genre or certain instrument, which is not so prevalent in a certain genre. So it's just, I just like to mix it up and play around with it. Like, you know what I mean? As long as I can communicate in that genre, that's all that matters. And I feel like I've worked hard enough over the years to perfect my craft, to be able to communicate in those said genres, because they both work. Like, you know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments? I'm kind of curious.
No, I actually don't. No, I play like piano to like be able to play, to make beats. But I don't actually play instruments like that. To be honest.
You strike me as someone that could play instruments.
I actually probably could. I can't lie to you, but I just...
You just never learned?
Yeah, because I have really great people around me that play all the time, and might pick up some things from them, but I don't really play. I just literally make beats off like pressing keys on the piano that and making chords that I really like, and going from there.
Did you always know you were going to be an artist? Was that always the plan?
That wasn't always the plan.
What was the initial plan? I
was gonna go off to like study like medicine.
Medicine?
Like, I was gonna do pharmacy and become a pharmacist.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, or own a pharmacy. But I knew I wanted to do something that was bigger than that. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I went back to, you know, music and stuff. Well, quite young, I started off like dancing and stuff, and then after that, I started playing football, and after playing football, I was like, yeah, this is long.
That's a lot of things.
It's long, and then I just went back to making music. That's what I love. So from about like 13, 14, I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm probably gonna end up doing this for a long time, you know? So.
I'm assuming your parents are Nigerian?
Yeah.
How'd they feel about it?
They've been super supportive.
Okay, that's rare.
Yeah, my dad was always like, yo, like your friends are actually studying and da-da-da-da. Like my mom used to be like, leave him, like if he wants to do this, he's good at it, like let him do it. Like, but then sometimes my mom would be like, yeah, like this person did just graduate, like da-da-da, you gotta. But when she's with me on things like this, like my tour, and that's like a graduation every day for her, because she's like, wow, like the hard work actually paid off, you know?
I like that.
So, yeah.
My favorite thing about your music's really songwriting.
Thank you.
You know, how do you get into that headspace to be able to, you know, just be super direct, super straightforward, vulnerable?
I feel like I like songs that are very like conversational, that they feel like you're being spoken to, or people are saying the things that you can't really say, you know what I mean? If you put a good melody to this conversation that we're having right now,
it could be a song.
It could be a song, you know what I mean? Cut down some words and stuff.
Yeah.
But it gets straight to the point, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the time, especially even when I was coming up, you realize a lot of words are like overused in music, and a lot of things are just repeated and stuff, and it's like, I'm always trying to find do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially in Afrobeat.
In bruh.
The same lyrics
crazy.
over and over again.
You literally see the same 2 words in every
song. Yeah.
And it's like, cool, you can say that, but how are you saying it? Are you changing the way you said, and how are you playing around with it? And I feel like that's the challenge for me. I'm always trying to make stuff sound like new and different, you know?
I was reading an interview, I don't know, it was a while ago, but you said like Burna Boy kind of inspired you to take music seriously.
Yeah.
How? Like in what way?
So he came back from Nigeria. He got let back into London. I can't remember what year it was. Probably like 2016 or something. I can't remember. First show back in the UK, and his show brought like loads of people from the UK together. Like all like everyone was at the Apollo, and I was just like, what is this? Like all these people he brought out for his music, and his performance was just incredible back then. Let alone where it is now.
Right now, yeah.
And it's just incredible, because obviously you grow up listening to music, and then a lot of the performance aspects like just go under the radar, because everyone's just focused on the song and streaming and da-da-da-da. But then he was really out here performing and making music that he loved, clearly.
Like he was in his own lane.
He was in his own lane. He was making songs that didn't need to do anything that they did, but they did it because he loved it, and people just loved the music. And that was the point where I was like, yo, I'm gonna really just lock in.
It was a longer road for him though.
So long.
Yeah.
Because it was so long. It was so many things in front of him, but he is where he is today. And I just respect it like highly. You know?
You've kind of previously classified your music as like Alte, the Nigerian Alte scene in a way. Feel like the Santi, Odunsi, you know, Gabzi. How do you feel about the current state of alternative music right now, that Alte scene?
I mean, I feel like there's loads of people who really want to express themselves, and like, it's just make what you love. Don't try and do like what everyone else is doing. I really respect Santi and Odunsi for like, Santi Odunsi, Bodge, like loads of different people from that era for like coming out and making
something different.
Making something different, making being an African feel cool. You know what I mean? Worldwide. And like the music they were making was incredible. That was like the raw stuff. That was so raw and like authentic. And I feel like they were just doing what they loved, and I feel like they continue doing what they loved, and they even changed their sound. And you know what I mean? They changed their sound to something that they love doing right now because they just cared about the music. Do you know what I mean? It might not be something to some people who started listening to them, but what it is now is what they want to do, and they're still pushing that sound forward. Do you know what I mean? So I respect them highly, and I feel like everyone should do the same. You can come out of Africa or Nigeria, whatever place, and make R&B and do whatever, and it's not Afrobeats. It doesn't have to be Afrobeats. Do you know what I mean? It could be whatever it is. I feel like that alternative space, because we have that influence from back home, that's what makes it alternative. Because if you do R&B as a Nigerian, that twang that you've got to it,
it's definitely gonna come out.
It's gonna come out, and it's gonna make that alternative. Do you know what I mean? So, yo, we're in a nice space right now. I feel like everyone should just go for it and just keep pushing. And like, the world is literally your oyster. Like, you can do whatever you want to do.
I feel like a great example of that is Thames.
Brilliant example.
She just got that twang with it.
Exactly.
Do you have any dream collaborations, artists you see yourself, bucket list, you want to work with?
Bucket list, say like Thames, Burna Boy, Fun the Cat, Kendrick Lamar, Elmeen.
Oh, I love Elmeen.
Elmeen is
very underrated.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's coming up though. He's crazy. Say Drake. Drake. Yeah. How can I forget Drake? 100%. Legend. Absolute legend. Like, who else? There's loads of people. Like, The Weeknd.
Oh yeah.
The Weeknd would be a crazy collab. You know. But,
You've said on Twitter that we should kind of expect, like, you're still coming with new music. What can we expect from the next phase?
Oh, well, it's winter now, so...
It's winter,
so R&B.
R&B, okay.
But like, another thing about me is like, R&B, when people say R&B these days, it's kind of like, just like they just throw it out there, like, it's just anything. But like, I really like to go deep in terms of like, where's it coming from? What's the influences behind it? What's the soul that's within it, you know? And with this R&B project, it's definitely going to be like better than, not better, but a more mature version of Thoughts I Never Said, a more present version, you know? And that's like the journey for that whole R&B pipeline. It's like to continue to make everything I do better than the last. And the same thing with the Afrobeat joints, is like to make the next bit better than the last and like move the needle for what I think Afrobeat should sound like in like this year and that year and this year. So yeah.
One thing I want to ask you, you know, the chorus of So. It doesn't even really sound like you're saying real words.
Nah.
So you're just like freestyling.
Yeah, I was just literally freestyling over that still. I was like, So doesn't actually mean anything. Yeah. But like, So in Nigerian, if you're like Igbo, it just means like either like small or small, like, you know what I mean? But as I was in Nigeria when I made it, that was like the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah. And I just done it. I came back to add lyrics, and the producers were like, wait, don't add no lyrics to that.
Really?
Like, yeah, they're like, I was like, no, you're right, let's just leave it. And then that was it. And that's what happened.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, touring the world.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really wanna, I had one meeting and someone was like, if like you were to rob a random house in Russia, and they didn't know who you were, you've not done anything. So I'm like, yo, in 5 years, obviously I ain't gonna rob no house in Russia, but boy, like, I wanna be like everywhere. Only because I feel like I have so much music to give. And like there's so many people to touch, you know. So that's really what I want to do.
Excited for that. Well, I'm excited to hear the new phase, and thank you so much for talking with me today.
I appreciate you big time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, for sure.